Welcome to the Sourcing Virtual Assistant module. In this module, we are going to teach you why you need a VA, what a sourcing VA actually does, where can I find a VA, how to hire them, how to train them, how to manage them, and then how to scale. So, pro tip is to watch this video in 2x speed, and let's jump right into it. So why do you need a virtual assistant? Well, a virtual assistant allows you to delegate the low leverage tasks so you can focus on the high leverage tasks. This means you will free up bandwidth for yourself to make the million-dollar plays. When you start to delegate tasks, you will stop being the choke point of your business and you remove yourself as the bottleneck. The elephant in the room is that you can't scale if you're the one sourcing forever. Stadium goods is passive, so sourcing should be too. Now, what doesn't sourcing virtual assistant actually do? A sourcing virtual assistant's main goal is to find you profitable inventory. And they do this in a few ways. The first way is by buying now on undervalued inventory. And the second way is by placing bids. Now they do this by cross-checking prices on platforms like StockX, GOAT versus Stadium Goods. Now, where do I find a virtual assistant? Personally, I find my virtual assistants on a website called onlinejobs.ph. This is where I hire Filipino assistants from the Philippines. So in order to make a job post on this website, you have to subscribe to their plan of $67 a month, and it's totally worth it in my opinion. I want to get more into this later. So the One VA Away Challenge is a course that you can take created by the founder of onlinejobs.ph, and he basically teaches you exactly how to find your rockstar VA. I personally took this challenge, and everything that I'm going to tell you in this presentation will be taking inspiration from the One VA Away Challenge. Now let's do a live walkthrough. So here is the onlinejobs.ph website. I'm going to open it up in incognito so you can see how it looks like when you first start. So when you first start, your job is to sign up, make an account, start hiring workers, and make an account, right? And let's quickly go over how it works. So there is a free trial, but you can't communicate with workers or hire workers. So essentially, it doesn't do anything. What we want to do is be able to hire somebody. So we go with the pro plan. So here's how they market it. They made a pro plan to stop bad actors coming onto their platform and wasting people's time. So you have to actually put your money where your mouth is when you're about to hire somebody. How they market it is that you get on the payment plan, you hire somebody, and you can keep them forever, and then you just cancel your plan when you're done recruiting. Simple as that. And I will leave a convenient link for you in the resource links on the school page so you can sign up for yourself. It will be a referral link, so if you use it, I will highly appreciate that. Thank you, and let's get back into the video. Now, next is to how to hire them. How do you hire your VA? I interview all my prospects via email. Filipino people are shy. Most of them don't like video interviews, and that's completely fine with me. I'm totally down to just interview people via text. When I hire somebody, what I'm looking for is someone that I can work well with. And I'm going to give you a live walkthrough. I'm also looking for talent, of course. So let's go over how I found my VA. So the first thing you need to do is make a job post. This is not the right one. Here we are. So this is the exact job post that found me my rockstar VA. My VA is Chelsea, and she's been doing an incredible job finding me profitable inventory. And this is literally the job post that brought her to me. So you can copy and paste this exact same thing and find your own rockstar VA. And I will leave this in a document in the resource link down below. Okay, so I'll quickly go over the job posting. So we just give a about the role, talk about the responsibilities, to ideal candidates, and then how to apply. And pay attention to the how to apply part. So when people apply, I tell them to make the subject StockX Arbitrage VA and then their name and apply with 7 points specifically. This is to weed out the bots, and it tells me that they actually read the job posting. If they apply with less than 7 points or the subject is completely off, then I just know instantly you didn't even bother to read the post. So instantly I delete those requests. So that's the job posting. Now let's go over how I interview people. Ray is one of the candidates that I did not go with, but this is basically how I do it. I send them a generic email. I say, thank you for applying. I'm impressed with your portfolio, and I have a series of questions to ask you. So I just ask some questions that I'm interested in, like their MBTI indicator personality test. I am curious, and I ask them where they are in the Philippines, because I only want people from the Philippines. There are bad actors on the website, like people from India or Bangladesh pretending they're Filipinos and then trying to scam you out of money, basically. So I just want to make sure these people are actually from the Philippines, and then I ask them if they have another job, if they're able to work full time, and then when can you start? Okay, so I used to do it through the email, but then when you get a lot of candidates, it takes a lot of work to email every single one of these guys. So I'm going to show you how I've been doing it recently. So here is my other accounts where I am looking for a YouTube editor, a thumbnail editor. Again, I start off with a job post, and then people come and message me with their applications, and then I just send them the entire list of questions. Okay, let's take Jeffrey. He put the subject right, and he applied for 7 points. So this tells me he actually read the how to apply description. So he starts it off with saying, hello, I am X, Y, and Z, his portfolio and resume. And then this is where I just copy and paste the entire list of interview questions for them, right? So I just send them this entire list of questions and then wait for people to respond. People that aren't interested in the job, they aren't ready to go all in, or they're not happy with the pay, or they were just wasting your time, they will self-remove them from the process. So now when you get responses from people, like Mary, for example, right? She actually responded and answered every single question. That means this is someone that I can hire. And then out of the people that actually responded to the interview questions, I would pick one of them to hire based on who I think would work the best with me, based on their talent and their skill set and their resume, right? So that's basically how I hire virtual assistants from the Philippines. Now let's go over how to train them. So I train the StockX sourcing virtual assistants with the sneaker sourcing videos. I also have an SOP written to hand to them. And I also make sure I create new StockX, GOAT, Stadium Goods, and Rakuten accounts for them to use in order to start. Now I'm going to give you a live walkthrough. Here is the official offer that I sent to my virtual assistant, Chelsea, for my company, right? So it's pretty simple. It's just a quick overview of the position. And I start them off part-time, 20 hours a week, on a trial, $250 a month, just to make sure that they're the right fit. So after a few weeks of us working together, if they show red flags, then I remove them instantly. And if they are a good fit, then I will promote them to full-time. And I make sure they understand this as well, that they're on a trial and they should bring their best foot to the job. So I go over the position, key responsibilities, expectations, onboarding and first task, and final steps, basically saying if you accept this offer, reply to this email to confirm. And I will leave this template in the resource links as well. After they accept the position, I send them an invite to Bitwarden to share all the login credentials that we talked about. You don't have to do this. You don't have to use a password manager, but you can just send them the plain text passwords over email if you want. But I just wanted to be safe, and I used Bitwarden And I gave her a StockX account with tax exemption, Stadium Supply account, and a Rakuten account for her to use for the cashback. And the training materials I started her off with was a video of the Ultimate StockX Sneaker Sourcing Guide, the ebook, and the SOP. Everything will be attached in the resource links below. I also gave her the monthly spreadsheet, and I had her go over the material. And I also sent her a welcome video over Loom, just saying, hello, welcome. Yeah, that's optional. So here is the spreadsheet that I have her fill out every time she buys something. So every time she buys something, I track the buy date, the SKU, and the size, and how much she paid for that item. And then when it sells, I put in the date is sold, the price is sold for, and how long it took to sold, and the margin, and any notes that I find fit, just to give her a feedback loop on what's working and what's not working, because without this, she won't understand what's good or not. And I'm not going to give her access to my Stadium Goods account, and you shouldn't either. So this is the way on giving her feedback. I'm going to leave a template of the purchase log in the resource links as well. And the last thing is the standard operating procedures, so she doesn't get confused with what she has to do in this role, right? You have to systemize everything so it's efficient and understandable and plug and play for any new virtual assistants that you bring on. So one thing that I took from the 1 VA Away challenge is that because we're not doing any video interviews or stand-ups, and that we're mainly just communicating via text, and because of the time difference, she's 12 hours ahead of me. The only thing I ask her to do is send a daily check-in email saying what you did today, what problems did you encounter, and what you need help with. Very simple. And I documented everything I expect her to do properly in the job, just like a starter file, right? I'm going to include this in the resource links as well, so it's just plug and play for you. You just hire a VA, give them everything that I'm giving you, and they will be off and away. All right, now how to manage them. Google spreadsheets to track all their purchases. That's the purchase log we just went over. I also require all my virtual assistants to write me a daily email to report their activities. 3 simple questions. If they can't do that, then I'm gonna have to let them go. And how I pay my virtual assistants is via PayPal goods and services. And I'm gonna give you a live walkthrough. So now I'm inside of PayPal. How I do it is I just click on my VA and then I send them the amount that we agreed upon, and PayPal will automatically convert it over to their country's currency. And the reason I do this is because I can put it on my business credit card, earn rewards and points from it, and not have to pay a fee, and write it off later when I do my taxes, which is awesome for me. So this is why I paid through PayPal. Now let's talk about how to scale once you get your first VA. First, you want to start with 1, and then you hire 2 for redundancy. Once you train your second VA, you can delegate quality assurance to your first VA, and then you can promote your first VA to a senior. Now over time, this will become a sourcing machine on autopilot, and everything will become passive for you. It's already a sourcing machine on autopilot with just 1 VA, but then you hire 2 and you amplify your outputs. Now let's summarize. You just learned how I hire, train, and manage a sourcing virtual assistant. Now, I want you to hire your first virtual assistant. You should do this when the time is right for you. You will know exactly when you will need to do this. And let's get to work. Super pumped for you guys. Let's scale to the moon. I'll see y'all in the next video.